The following program is brought to you by Podcast One Sportsnet.
Help protect what matters with ADT's Safer, Smarter New Year sales event. For a limited time, get an ADT Security Starter Kit, everything you need to get started with ADT Pulse, including a security panel, keypad, a motion sensor, and 2 entry sensors. Plus, there's an indoor camera and key fob, all professionally installed for only $49. It's a $599 savings that comes with the warm, confident feeling of safety at home. Requires 36-month monitoring contract, QSP, and Easy Pay. Activation and early termination fees may apply. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com, Florida EF 0001121, Louisiana F1639. Visit ADT.com/podcast. But hurry, this special offer now ends January 21st.
Direct from the heart of Lakers Nation, Podcast One Sportsnet brings you America's Lakers Podcast with Jay Mohr, the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers. Get the inside scoop without the gossip about your favorite team that lives up to the purple and gold standard. Here's your host, Jay Mohr.
America's Lakers Podcast with me, Jay Mohr at JMohr37. Tweet my buddies at Aaron Larsuel.
I like to be tweeted.
You've been tweeted?
I have once or twice, yeah.
Have you ever? I don't want to pay for the song. Corey Fry, F-R-Y. Fry 42. Hi, Corey
Are both Fries F-R-Y?
Oh, that's to be determined, man.
It could be like F-R-Y, F-R-I-E, but that's not it.
That'd be great. Lakers win. The Lakers win 99-86. I had
Yankees action.
Business West Side. I was in the car for a great deal of it, so I want to thank John Ireland and Michael Thompson for, again, just, wow, they're so good at their jobs.
So good.
I thought Larry Nance was Dominique Wilkins. It was a stretch there. It was like, another putback by Larry Nance. And then I got home and the box score says, no, it was a great workman, 4 for 6. Larry Nance, one of the few people off the bench that did particularly well. Aaron, Lakers, yes. 99, Kings 86. 35 fast break points for the Lakers. That's coming off of Sunday night's 42 fast break points. And the reason I'm bringing that up to you, our dear listeners of America's Lakers Podcast, the official podcast certified of the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody likes to throw stones, and this is the big awareness I've had about Los Angeles media is man, like rats in a barrel. Like, we love the gossip, the TMZ, and we pride ourselves on not being that. And when they hired celebrity trainer Gunther, all the headlines, they train the Kardashians. Are you kidding me? First of all, let me know the next time you're not going to take a Kardashian to your prom. Second of all, like, yeah, she looks like Alice the Goon from Popeye. Does she? All right. She didn't specify. And also,
I want to take all 3 to my prom.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Russ Wilson, Tom Brady, The Rock.
Heard of those guys, huh?
The Rock seems like he's in pretty good.
Oh, you mean even athletes too, JJ?
Yes, dumb guy.
Thank you.
There you go. Good job, buddy.
Thank you. I'm catching on. Slowly, but I'm catching on.
No, you got it. It is a tough one to do. But the reason I'm bringing that up, Aaron, is this Lakers team is in great shape. And before anybody goes, well, yeah, it's the Kings and the Hawks, you're supposed to beat the teams that they've beaten exactly the way they've beaten them. And you pointed out 2 very different ways of beating teams.
Yeah, it was. I think the Lakers was either 100. I think the Lakers scored 134 points, and as you mentioned, JJ held or got 42 fast break points against Atlanta, and then continued that a little bit tonight with the 35 fast break points, but held the Kings to only 8 fast break points. Held the Kings to 34% field goal shooting, 30-15 on the assist docket for the Lakers. So the first game. The first win against Atlanta was very much an offensive game. And this game, JJ, we got tacos.
I forgot about tacos.
We got tacos. I've got it in my pocket right now. We get tacos. The Lakers won. The Lakers won and held their opponent under 100, which gets everyone in the arena tacos.
From? It's official Lakers podcast. So.
Yeah, it's either, I'll have to check. It's either Taco Bell or Jack in the Box. I'm not sure. Both delicious tacos. I think it's Jack in the Box, actually, which
One's
has delicious.
Has more import than the other right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
local truck.
I'm going to from Trejo's Tacos, also delicious. But I think it's. I think it's meaningful that, and this is what good teams do. Not saying the Lakers are great yet, but this is what teams do. Good teams do. One, as you just alluded to, they beat teams you're supposed to beat. They always talk about this in college football where, so-and-so only beat so-and-so. Yeah, okay, like who else are we supposed to beat? This is who's on the schedule. You beat who's on the schedule. So props to the Lakers for beating the teams that are currently on the schedule and being able to find different ways to do it, which is what the good teams do, which is what championship teams do. Today it was the defense.
That was a great summation, my man. I did notice that time. That was concise.
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
As you said, the economy is what impressed me against the Hawks, and again, the economy. Julius Randle, Jack in the Box brings you your free tacos, by the way. Jack in the Box, you get a free taco if you're at the game. Julius Randle was absolutely a starter.
Best player on the floor.
He played a half hour, 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists, and the steal I like. 6 turnovers, who cares? This was a great effort and a great game by Julius Randle right after we announced and broke the news that right here on America's Lakers podcast, they really want to keep Julius Randle and just kibosh all of it right now. Anything you read to the contrary is just people making clickbait. It's not truthful. They want to re-sign Julius Randle. As far as open to, or we would love to trade Julius Randle or Jordan Clarkson, it's simply not true. Every single person not named LeBron or Seth or Kevin is Kevin.
Yeah.
How about Kevin? Seems like the outlier.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like LeBron.
So unless your name is LeBron, Stephen, Kevin, or possibly Russell and James, other than that, literally every single other person in the NBA is available in trade. Now, it might take one of those 5 guys that won't be traded to get them, but it's just like it's lazy reporting to say that so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so is available. Of course they are. Everyone is available. It doesn't mean the Lakers want to or are actively trying to trade anyone. JJ, you and I both individually had conversations with people who are in the know and people who are in charge of making some of these decisions. And we were both told independently, Julius Randle is not going anywhere. Julius Randle is in the long-term plans of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Now, if they trade Julius Randle, by the way, that doesn't mean Aaron and I were wrong and our source was faulty, because our sources are in-house and they're the people that make decisions. What it means is they got an offer that the powers that be go, we'd be idiots.
Sure.
Not take Kyrie Irving for Julius Randle straight up.
Sure.
Sorry, Julius. What am I? I'm packing your luggage. What do you mean? What am I doing?
We used to say I'm driving you to the airport.
I'm not taking anybody to the airport.
This traffic? LAX? Hell no.
I sent the car for my mom.
Right, exactly.
I answered my own door.
You come get me? No, I'll pay for a $28 Uber to come get you, though.
I answered my own door.
Mom, you're here.
Yeah. Who was that man that dropped me off? I don't know.
Don't know him.
According to the app, it's Aram.
Don't know him. I don't know him, but he had a hybrid, didn't he?
Luke Walton not on a hot seat, and we're not going to get into the goofy stuff that other people get into because I don't want to dignify it with responses.
Which is what the Lakers have done.
If I'm going to, they've taken the high road.
Yeah, just say, literally, there was a bunch of there was articles written yesterday and the day before that we are waiting for the Lakers to comment, but Jeannie, Rob, Magic, nobody's saying anything. Well, of course they're not saying anything.
Maybe you should not send a reporter to Lithuania. You laid off 200 employees because you couldn't afford it, but you can fly a guy to... Everybody listening right now, go online and just try to book a flight. First of all, you don't know the name of a town to land the plane in.
No, I don't know.
You can't land in...
I don't...
I'm going to take a plane to France.
All I know is that where LaMelo and LiAngelo are playing, the team that they are playing for, I'm guessing it's attached to a city. It starts with a V, and I think the second letter is a Y. I don't know anything else about where it is, and you're right.
Why should you?
I can't name a city in Lithuania. And I think of myself as a fairly worldly guy. I don't know a single place in Lithuania.
I Wikipedia'd Lithuania because I had my suspicions.
Their flag is cool, though.
Almost like a Ja Rastafari.
Yeah, the flag's cool.
You want to talk about a country that nobody knows about. This will take nanoseconds, literally, so hang in there. That has maybe the absolute coolest history on the globe. Like, they're name-checked in like 10,000. They got their independence, the Celtic independence, the Baltic independence, the Russian independence. They tossed off the Iron Curtain, but they don't play for the Lakers Lithuania last time I checked. But we have had good ball players come over here from there. 26 fast break points. The starters played exceptionally well. Gunther, the trainer, look, there was a stat that went around. I remember I was doing a movie on a lake in Georgia, Party Boat. What's it about? Actually asked multiple times on the press tour.
I have a
Party
guess.
Boat?
I have a guess.
I play a blind doctor.
I'm in.
Who teaches inner city youths to save the rec center.
Tell me more.
We have a dance-off at the end with Ozone and Turbo.
Turbo and Ozone?
Yeah, it's Party Boat.
Are you're talking like Breaking Turbo?
Yeah, well, I kind of just lifted it and put
my favorite movie as a kid.
Me too.
Breaking.
Absolutely.
I'm not kidding.
This trainer, the stat that went
Corey's looking at me crazy.
It was absolutely my favorite movie.
I'm not kidding.
99.5 was on the soundtrack.
99.5 or 2, yeah.
And we discovered Ice-T.
And there's Shaka Khan. You know who else is in that? Ice-T, who's the DJ
My
at the
sister's
club.
ass was a good
Your
name.
sister's ass is in it, has a huge and important role. There's a cameo performance in a wrestling singlet. You're a wrestling guy, JJ. You'll love this. Jean-Claude Van Damme dancing very strangely in a wrestling singlet on the beach when they first drive up. Special K and all the guys drive up.
I've seen the GIF or GIF of that.
Yeah.
I never knew it was from Break until this moment.
It's his first acting role. I have
just
my
remember
hands
as
up in quotes.
A kid in the theater is going, there's no way all these cool boogie popping, stopping, and locking folks are impressed by this girl doing freaking cartwheels slowly. Like, whoa, she's classically... it ain't Crossroads with Steve Vai on a guitar.
I love the dude when they go visit her dance academy and the teacher, he's such an evil human being, and
White.
I love it. Well, yeah, also white. But
An evil white guy. Kick the inner city youth
yeah.
that can really
yeah.
dance.
Oh, I love it.
That want to give you a taste of your own medicine.
Electric Boogaloo's not great, but still one of my favorites.
Why are we bringing all this up? Because this is the fun of us doing your official Lakers podcast. And I'm not joking at all. Gunther, the trainer, there was a stat going around when I was doing that movie Party Boat. I think it was like 90% of all-stars are 8% body fat or lower. Let's hit 8% across the board.
Yeah.
Lakers are running people out of the gym when they're clicking, man.
And I talked about a little bit earlier about the Lakers winning in different ways. And JJ, you have been harping
My name's JJ Aaron.
It is Dumb Guy. Well, I think it is Dumb Guy.
Yeah.
You have been talking about, and rightfully so, about the tough starts, the not great starts that the starters have been getting off to. And a lot of times it's been the bench bringing the Lakers back into games and winning games. And tonight, it was different. As we sit here on a Tuesday night, you will hear this tomorrow on Wednesday, but it was a 26-8 run for the Lakers starters to open the game, which wonderfully is a departure from the Lakers starters having a hard time, and then it's been the bench trying to get them back in games.
It's amazing what happens when your starters start.
Yes, and KCP, who has been kind of up and down, who is no longer in the Seal Beach Correctional Facility.
Seal Beach? I thought he was going downtown. How do you get from Seal Beach to downtown every day?
No, he was at
no digressions.
Yeah. So, but he was really good at the first three.
Fulfilling your obligations, my man.
He was really good early, and the starters, now that Julius is in there, look kind of the sum of the parts. The sum has been greater than what is the.
I agree with you.
Yes,
the sum is great.
The sum is greater than the parts.
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
That's what it is.
I'm not sure of
that's
the
what it's
expression
been.
either.
Yes.
I grew up watching the Knicks, and I had season tickets to the Knicks with both Riley and Van Gundy, and that was the definition of.
Right.
Especially Riley's dudes had no business going as far as they did. Nobody could shoot at all.
Right.
But I'll tell you this much. I said to you, the first note I had on the game was, when they're playing like this, I wouldn't trade anybody. And I mean it. And I know they're not playing like this as often as we would like, but we have to embrace, and we told you it was coming. Eventually, it has to click. And the fracturing of a locker room isn't true. Guys are mad when they come off the floor, and I realized tonight it was Larry Nance Jr. was pretty heated when he got taken out of the game. Good. I don't want guys going, okay, good, because I'm not so great.
Right.
You guys should replace me. Can we sub? Like, you're not at the Y. Let's listen to this word, and you're going to like the Family Feud I got coming up. New game show right after these words.
Hi, this is Dennis Miller, and I want to invite you to listen to my new podcast, Red Circle Sports, right here on Podcast One. I'll be recapping the weekend's most exciting sports stories, and I'll bring them to you every Tuesday. Plus, hear me chat with some of my favorite sports industry guests like Rich Eisen. So be sure to subscribe to Red Circle Sports with me, Dennis Miller, on the Podcast One app. at podcastone.com or on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to rate, review, and share. Be there or be square.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, savings coming at ya, savings coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see you at practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome back, America's Lakers podcast. Lakers 99, Kings 86. Dropped over 130 on the Atlanta Hawks Sunday night. Won with offense, basically like a Rucker Park type game.
Yes.
How do you say the kid's
Dennis
name?
Schroeder.
It's Schroeder with an O.
Yeah, and whatever the thing, is it an umlaut, or is that a Swedish thing? He's German, so I don't know if it's still an umlaut
German,
over it. Yeah.
Like Motley Crue?
Yeah.
Because without the umlauts, it would be Muttley.
Yes.
No, with the umlauts, it would actually be Muttley.
Oh, well,
which is appropriate.
Whichever it is Dennis Schroeder, who is, it's always been strange, a little blonde, little streak, and kind of that old Bobby Brown, pumping around haircut.
Everybody's talking.
Yeah.
Very Ronaldo, very soccer, very German.
Very German.
Very brother from Germany.
Hence his and he's not just a brother from Germany, he is as dark as it gets.
Just like Charlize Theron is an African American.
That's right. She's South African.
Card carrying.
Yeah. South African.
In response to our friend Bill Plaschke's article, is it time for the Lakers to think twice about the drafting of Lonzo Ball? Billy boy, this is just, come on.
It's silliness.
This is not even in the ballpark of what you do, my man. And I love you, Bill Plaschke. I love you. I called out people, and I got to keep it real. That's what we do here. Lonzo Ball, it's not even close. The discrepancy between him, as lousy as anybody thinks Lonzo Ball may have played past tense, because he had 11 and 11 rebounds and assists. You can score 5 points. You give me 11 times. I'm sorry. It's not even close. His draft class, point guards, it's not even close. Markelle Fultz, you don't get a grade because you don't play.
No. You don't play.
But he don't play.
Yeah.
Steve Smith.
I mean, look,
Jason
Tatum has been really good.
At his position.
Right.
De'Aaron Fox. Remember draft day, it's like, they got to take...
De'Aaron Fox has not done...
Malik Monk,
Malik
point
Monk,
guard.
Yeah, doesn't...
But he don't play.
No. Donovan Mitchell, who has played... He wasn't supposed to be a point guard, but he's kind of played point guard.
Nobody wrote up Donovan Mitchell.
For Utah, but Donovan Mitchell has been... He's been really, really good. Dennis Smith Jr. has been kind of up and down and hurt, has been good sometimes. Frank Ntilikina in New York has been okay. His athleticism is impressed. He's been really good on defense.
But nobody thought the Lakers should take Frank Ntilikina.
No, and look.
I definitely heard the other names.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It is pretty tough to, even going back a few years, but specifically this year and this draft, it's pretty tough to give the Lakers anything but an A for this draft. Nobody regrets the Lonzo pick. Lonzo, again, I had conversations this evening at the game, and the Lakers, the people that matter with the Lakers, are even happier about Lonzo now than when they drafted him. They like his potential more, and that he is reaching his potential quicker even now than when they took him. So there is nothing to the, hey, is it time to get out of the Lonzo business? There's some rumors going around about, maybe the Lakers are going to end up trying to trade him in the offseason. Absolutely not.
We can say emphatically false. And I was laying in bed last night going, what could I get for Lonzo Ball? And it was high. I realized, that's because he's really good.
Well, I will tell you this. The Lakers were offered something very nice from Cleveland for the number 2 pick, which became Lonzo Ball, and they didn't want it.
Well, I remember this, but I don't remember what the offer was. It was public.
A guy that plays point guard for the Celtics now was offered for the number 2 pick. The Lakers said no, thank you. And even as good as he's been, I don't think the Lakers would take that trade now. The Lakers are very happy with Lonzo Ball.
I didn't hear that particular one, and that's interesting because, look, he's 20 years old.
Yes.
And
19 at the time, 20 now.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a lights-out pick. And Kuzma and Hart, this is a bananas pick. The starters played great tonight. It's time for Family Feud. We got the. Are you ready to play a new game show?
I am. I'm into it.
All right, freeze real quick. Please welcome the Larsoul family. Larsoul family. All right, you're the patriarch of this nice fine family here.
Is this the Louis Anderson? Or are we doing
free throws? 61%.
Are we going Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. We're doing the Steve Harvey version.
Yeah.
Who was the old guy?
One was
that?
Roy Combs.
That's the one I know. Yeah, Roy. Okay.
It didn't end well.
Does it ever for a game show host?
Richard Dawson. I'd like to find out.
Yeah,
for the
we
money
try,
at
right?
this point.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50. I got a couple
Well,
of
and
kids.
shout out to Alex Trebek, who's going through some stuff, but apparently is healing up.
I like when you get the answer wrong on Jeopardy. It just makes you feel like a moron.
I feel like you know nothing.
Sorry, the answer was zeroth. We were looking for zeroth.
All right, I'm
so sad.
I'm ready. Whichever version host you are, I'm ready.
I'm gonna go Richard Dawson so I can kiss you on the lips.
I'm here for it.
All right, are you the daughter? Mwah. Richard, we're over here. Top 4 answers are on the board.
Okay.
I'll do. I can. How about just do me? Top 4 answers are on the board. Luke Walton, who's not getting fired, not on a hot seat. It's frigid. His seat is frigid. He wore number 4.
Yes, his jersey number was number 4. Yeah.
Basketball players in the NBA, famously, or maybe dubiously, wearing number 4.
Okay, so this is
no, that's it. That's it. They wore the number 4 on their jerseys.
So they could be retired, current, and active, and non-active. Okay, I believe
the children of the future.
I do believe Chris Webber, but I don't know if I'm not going Chris Webber. He did wear number 4, but I'm
going to say he's
there.
probably the most famous. He's not here, but on this list. But I would say he's probably the most famous for because of the timeout photo and
that's right. Yeah,
forever.
Yes. Let's go with. Charles Barkley, I think, wore number 4 at the end of
the
his
Rockets.
Yeah,
right.
The end, like extra fat Charles, not just fat Charles Barkley, but extra fat Charles
that's
Barkley.
terrible. You know where he never said that? A buffet. You want some more baby corn? That's terrible.
I was going to say in
yes.
Vegas because of the Vegas buffets, but he goes to Vegas so much and terrible things happen to him at the blackjack table that he can't say terrible there.
Let's go famous white family heirloom guards. Maybe there's a theme here.
Yeah, are we going theme like the end of the career?
Maybe the beginning.
Didn't Rick Barry wear number 4?
We got Rick Barry now, my man.
Known for 24, but I think he may have worn for number 4 in there also.
Out in this family feud, he's not.
Okay.
Let's go centers that maybe like to listen to a lot of reggae. Blood clot.
Well, that sounds a lot like Chris Bosh.
That is correct.
The Toronto days, he wore number 4, and also at Georgia Tech. I think he also wore number 4 there. Georgia Tech.
It's amazing the basketball players that come in and out of Georgia Tech.
Kenny Anderson. Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy I was just thinking of.
Dennis Scott. Yeah.
Who's Dennis Smith Sr. By the way, Dennis Smith Jr. 14 a night. I was unaware of Dallas Mavericks. I apologize.
Yeah, he's been good.
Good.
He's missed some time with injuries, kind of in and out of the lineup. But
played
he's been
every
good.
game. Played every game.
She's played every game?
Well, pretty much.
He's played a lot.
Let's just say he's no Karl Anthony Towns.
Well,
who you hit me to
correct.
Ducks a few games here and there. Never met a game he liked.
Well, it's because when he plays, he has to play 47 and a half minutes every night.
How long am I playing tonight? I packed your lunch.
By the way, there's so many good stories about Marcus Camby, who was there.
One more name, though, real quick.
Oh, yeah, no, another famous number 4.
Maybe not famous, but you're not going to get it. Rachna Alan Abdelnaby.
Allah Abdelnaby, that's
I just remember,
right.
You know why I put, is it Alan?
What is
Or is it Allah?
It's Allah Abdelnaby. Yeah, he played for Duke. He played for Duke and then played for the Celtics for a while.
The reason he's on this list is Barry Katz, my old manager, used to have this thing where you had a first clip pre 9/11 where you just would show up and your name was the name on the ticket. People would let you fly and they would take your miles.
You're right.
And once I got on a flight, and the guy at the gate randomly, because it was like, 97, goes, "Could I see some ID?" I'm like, "Sure." And he goes, "Mr. Mohr, can I talk to you for a second? You don't look like a 7-foot Rachna Allah Abdelnaby." His actual name on my ticket was Allah Abdelnaby. Cats had me flying as a 7-footer.
Well, you know, also a light
skin
7-foot. Mm-hmm. What's also interesting, I think I need to speak with the producers of Family Feud because Allah Abdelnaby is now more famous than Chris Webber as a famous number 4.
That would be me. Only because I wanted to get that story.
I like it.
Can't you act like you're Rachna Abdelnaby, man?
I also
Good
like
God.
Marcus Camby, who when we were in Portland, we heard
Marcus
stories
Camby.
about him in Denver, and they would draw straws to see who wasn't going to play that night. Like, I don't feel like it. And they would literally make up injuries in Denver so that Marcus Camby didn't have to play.
You know what they call that now in Denver? Denver.
Yeah.
The Nuggets. Look, I'd rather be a Lakers fan than pretty much any team in the nation because, again, I'll reiterate the point. If this was a company that you were going to buy stock in, the Lakers is where you'd want to go because the yield is going to be tremendous.
I always like this analogy when you say it.
If you invest in the Golden State Warriors, you're going to get like 1% back because they're so at the top. It's like, you know what, let me put all my money into Starbucks now as opposed to a startup that's on the ground floor.
30 years ago with Starbucks.
Yeah, and that's what the Lakers are now. They're Coca-Cola stock in 1960. Lakers beat the Kings in a defensive, wonderful. Both teams under 100 points, but the Lakers, they shot pretty well, Aaron. And if you remove Lonzo Ball's shooting, but you don't get that fast pace, 26-8 opening run, 35 fast break points. I don't think we should be concerned. The answer is no, we should not be concerned about Lonzo Ball. You want him to shoot more productively, or do you want him to shoot less?
No, the former. I don't want him shooting less. I think, John Ireland told us very early in this podcast, not this episode, but early in us doing this podcast.
No, he was here. Go back.
He told us twice. He told us, we talked with him after a game early in the year at the Staples Center, and then when we were in Phoenix after the game there, he talked to us then and told us both times, if the Lakers aren't pushing the ball, something is wrong. I kind of feel the same way about Lonzo. If Lonzo's shot attempts aren't in double figures, for me, something is wrong. Look, I want him making half of those. Even if he isn't, for his long-term growth and for just the general sense of aggressiveness that provides. And you saw the ball. Lonzo didn't shoot well, but still had 11 assists, and the team had 30 assists. And
5 steals. Forgive me for not saying this sooner. 5 steals is astounding.
Yeah, it's a great number. But 30 assists. The Lakers only scored 99 points. And they had 30 assists. And that really is because of Lonzo's aggressiveness. I was about to say I don't care how he shoots. I do care how he shoots. But I want him I want him double-digit attempts every single game.
10 seems like the magic number here for me and you. That's what KCP was shooting. When we started this podcast, we went through the shot chart.
Right.
And pretty much the entire team took 10 shots.
The distribution, yeah.
And we didn't like that at all. If Lonzo... there's no dominant shot taker. I guess it would be Clarkson when he sees, tonight.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing enough. Yeah. Randall, I would say probably, if you're doing it by a per minute basis, and I'll look this up, but I would almost guarantee you that field goal attempts per minute is, I can look it up per 36. I would almost guarantee you it's Julius.
Well, he's at 13. Excuse me. It was like 13 is not a tremendous amount. So we're still hovering around an
there's
even
still a pretty equal distribution. Yeah.
My question for you is twofold. The first one is, obviously, KCP 11 shots. We want more shots. Two questions here, and I'll get to them right after this.
Progressive presents Get Pumped. Inspiration to help you do insurance stuff.
Okay, time out. You're gonna let your budget be the boss of you? Take control with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay for car insurance, and we'll help you find options that fit your budget. Here's some music to get you pumped. Da-dong, 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 dang, dang. I hear your budget laughing at you. Oh, wait, that's just those kids laughing at me. Ignore them! Da-dong, da-dong,
Progressive
da-dong.
Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
America's Lakers podcast, the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers. We're rounding third here. San Antonio Spurs coming to town Thursday night.
Yeah, tomorrow as you listen to this.
Minus Kawhi Leonard.
Probably. We never know what the injuries are with San Antonio, but probably with a partially torn shoulder. I think he's
not as a Lakers fan, but
doubtful.
As a Spurs fan, I would hope it's doubtful. Like, don't even travel with the team. I used to say that about Kobe Bryant, like broken finger, bruised rib, broken toe, bruised heel. Like, just lay in a massage table for the next week.
Do you remember? And Pop pretty much started this, preserving guys for the playoffs. I want to say they were in Phoenix or going to Phoenix, and Pop was like, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, who were the three guys for San Antonio in those days, they weren't going to play. So he literally sent them home on a Southwest flight before the trip was over. Can you imagine going to I'm B-17 or waiting in line for the Southwest, and there's Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker.
With Alaa Abdelnaby and coach.
With Alaa Abdelnaby wearing number 4, clearly.
Dennis Smith Jr. tonight, 20 points. I was wrong about no point guard being close to Lonzo in the draft, but nobody, I didn't hear any chatter about they should take Dennis Smith Jr. His name was after the afters.
Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr. was in the mid to late lottery range, so it wasn't like
if Kuzma's the jackpot, then there's a slot above that for the Dennis Smith.
No,
Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr.'s been very good.
Nobody predicted that. So again, Lonzo Ball, nobody is regretting the pick whatsoever. Luke Walton not on the hot seat. His seat is frigid, and Julius Randle is in the Knicks. The Knicks. You're talking about Nicolina is in the Los Angeles Lakers long-term plans. They would not, quote, love to trade him. And anything you see on the internet, it's always the Dallas Mavericks too. Part
of it is because he's from there.
What I was going to say, the two questions I have for Aaron Larsoul, who's an analytical genius, is twofold. One, one and two, most shots, second most shots would you like to see on the Los Angeles Lakers roster? And my second question is Lonzo 1 for 7 Tuesday night from way downtown, or as Craig Kilborn said, for 3. Is that enough? I was listening in the car. I don't know when he hit his 3-pointer. You can fill me in on that. You can work backwards on this question any way you want. If he hits 1, is it where that 1 lands? Does that make guys not cheat on the screens? Or you have to hit 3 out of 7 or 4 out of 7?
Yeah, well, excuse me. Well, I guess to answer the second question,
want some tea, baby booby?
Yeah, a little lemon and some honey in it. To answer the question about Lonzo, I don't know that it's any specific game that will change the scouting report, but I talked about it a few episodes ago, where right before he got hurt, he had that 4 or 5 game stretch where he was shooting in the 40s from 3, 45, 46% from 3. And I thought that was starting to adjust the scouting report. Scouting reports are, well, a lot of guys don't even look at them. So they put the very important stuff on the first page because they're afraid guys aren't going to look past.
Bottom line up front.
So I think, and they kind of, I'm looking for an analogy, but I don't have one, but they kind of lag behind reality. So there's all this information that is what it is, and that kind of gets ingrained in your head. And if guys are shifting away from that and changing the scouting report, there's a little bit of lag, kind of like a prove-it phase. So I think as Lonzo shoots better, I don't think it's any like one game specifically.
How many shots? Is 1 shot? When was this 3 tonight? Do you remember offhand?
I think it was in the one that he made. I think it was in the mid third quarter.
All right,
down
so
from the
if he hits it early,
left wing.
Look, I don't see anybody, and I'll circle back to these questions. We're rounding third here. We'll take the catcher out. Don't you worry, Fosse style.
Yeah, we're going to go Buster Posey rule.
Yes, I'm not. I've never seen anybody not defend a 3-pointer in the NBA unless they were so out of position they were off camera.
The one time I've seen it with Lonzo is when he had 29, like the third game of the year or something like that in Phoenix, and they weren't within 15 feet of him, and he burned him.
And the sad part about that analytic is it's Phoenix, so you don't get a true read.
Right, you just feel like it's Phoenix, and they fired Earl Watson like 3 days later. Yeah.
Yeah, unless Tyson Chandler's a guard, because he'll defend anything. He just comes out of the house
give you everything
swinging.
He's got.
He's knocking flies out of the sky on a picnic. Got another one.
Like Godzilla swatting helicopters.
Yeah, I love him. I don't know how he ever left any building of any team he was ever on.
No, yeah, he's actually a really good teammate. Guys like him a lot.
Is there an amount of shots that can guarantee? Are guys not defending Lonzo's 3? Are they cheating on the ball screens, not anticipating he's going to make a 3? Because the only time they are.
Yes,
okay.
still.
Tyler Ulis, not Ennis, from the Phoenix Suns, was the only time I actually saw guys going, you can shoot all you want because you're never going to. He didn't even take anything.
Well, the interesting part about that is it's always there's opportunity cost to everything you do in life and on a basketball court. There's opportunity cost. So when a defense is trying to figure out how to guard a pick and roll, Some teams have different schemes, whether they blitz a pick and roll, whether they have their big man drop, or if they head. There's lots of different ways to guard the pick and roll. So a team has a general idea of what they do on pick and rolls defensively, and then there are some guys, because they can't shoot at all, or because they're really great shooters, that have like special instructions for just those guys. And I would guess right now that Lonzo is a guy that you go under because, well, I know Lonzo's a guy you go under because I see it every night. But it's also, like as I was saying, it's an opportunity cost, because to whatever decision you make on how to guard Lonzo or how to guard any pick and roll player, you are giving up something else. By trying to stop one thing, you're giving up something else. So by trying to go under the screen, by going under the screen, you're giving Lonzo shots. But if you try to go over the screen, then you are opening up some passing lanes and opening up some roles. So there's always a decision that you have to make in how you're going to guard a pick and roll. The other thing that Lonzo hasn't done a lot of yet, but I hope he will as he gets more aggressive generally, is because guys are going under the screen and a lot of times the big men are dropping, that can, for experienced ball handlers, that can kind of give you a runway. So you'll see it all the time with Russell Westbrook, who's still not a great shooter. So guys will go under the screen on him because they're not afraid of him shooting. And what he'll do with that is often will take one dribble backwards and then just start charging ahead. Ben Simmons does this a lot with Philadelphia. Watch Ben Simmons.
He's never going to take the three. He's a 1-3
right, exactly.
on the season.
Yeah. So a lot of those guys, when people go under screens on them consistently, they will use it as a runway to get their momentum going towards the rim, so that the big man who is trying to help out, or the guy that was guarding them initially, they don't have time to get their body back in front, because they will use that space and just attack the rim instead of trying to shoot. So I think you will start seeing some of that from Lonzo. But
I hope so, because going to the rack, it just seems in today's NBA more than ever pays dividends all the time. Even if you miss, you can get fouled. Clarkson is the number one, and Ingram, I'd like to see more of this, the aggression. Larry Nance just makes a living up there in the rim.
And that's a really good point that you're making.
Go on.
Specifically with Nance, because one of the benefits of getting to the rim is it always requires help. If it requires help from the big man right there, you can dump it off to him for a dunk, or perhaps you miss a shot because the helper comes over to block the shot, but that gives up offensive rebounding position to Nance. If the helpers come from one of the corners, then you've got open threes. So getting in the lane, basketball is still based on the point guard beating his man off the bounce and getting into the paint that troubles the defense and makes them react. And then what the point guard does to score himself or find somebody else. Offensive basketball is still best played with the guy with the ball beating his man off the dribble.
I'm going to create an analytic for you right now, and it's going to make you so happy, because it's all because of what you poured into my goofy brain.
Please.
Accelerated gravity. Gravity, as you've taught me, is a guy like, James Harden catches the ball in the corner. Three guys are going to peel off and go that way. He has a lot of gravity.
You're right. Even if he doesn't have the ball, people are so worried about him and are pulled towards him even without the ball that opens up everything else.
You don't leave James Harden to go help somebody else because keep a body on him.
Correct.
There's the great Adam Sandler joke, Wilt's 100-point game during the timeout. Hey, bring it in. Who's got Wilt? It's one of the best jokes. Hey, who's got Wilt?
We don't have.
He's got 50 points, guys.
We don't have
50.
we don't have time for this story now. We don't have time for any stories. I've never told the Shaq story, but I will tell you Michael Holton, who was an assistant in Portland for a while. Assistant at UCLA for a while, and then did some stuff in Portland. Played for the Trailblazers, and then coached. Portland, University of Portland. There's a great story about him.
So many credits, I forgot his name already.
Michael Holton.
Thank you. Who's got Wilt, though, is the question.
Yeah,
Do you know who had Wilt?
No, some white dude who was like 6'3", probably.
Michael Holton.
Yeah, Michael Holton.
Well, let's holster the Holton.
Yeah, we'll tell the Holton story. But it reminds me. Who's got Wilt reminds me of a story on Michael Holton's story.
Who's got Wilt? And then the only tag was his own team's going, hey, yeah, it's a good point. I'm open, man. My family's here.
My girl's in the state. You embarrass me. My girl's here.
Accelerated gravity. Guys got gravity like James Harden. We saw Alonzo Ball attract 3 Philadelphia 76ers along the baseline when he drove. They kind of panicked.
Yeah, he became incredibly dangerous.
And he kicked it out to Brandon Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
When a guy like Russell Westbrook, or what we're hoping will really like the only part of the game other than shooting percentage I'd like to see more of from Lonzo Ball is what you just said, is that runway to take off for flight. When a guy drives that runway, his gravity gets accelerated.
Yeah,
when you
the closer you get to the rim, yeah.
When you're at that 3-point line, you might have some gravity like James Harden. James Harden ratcheting up and taking flight, all of a sudden that gravity gets accelerated. I don't know if James Harden actually has it. I think his gravity is
James Harden has everything.
True, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can improve the gravity that he has.
Right. Yes.
It's not more panic. But if Lonzo Ball does a Russell Westbrook and goes one step back and just charges the rim, I think the gym will freak out.
I think that's really. I think that's like that's the next evolution for Lonzo, and Lakers fans look at it.
Are you saying for him to get accelerated gravity?
Yes.
Woo,
the next evolution for Alonzo is one guy punishing people for going under the screen. He's not a good enough shooter yet to really punish people. It's why they go under the screen. But taking that little dribble backwards to get more of a runway and build up that speed to get to the rim, which, as JJ is saying, accelerates his gravity. I think that's the next thing for Lonzo. Because
accelerated gravity. Who should take the most shots for the Los Angeles Lakers? Number 1 and 2. Current Lakers that actually play on the bench or that are starting. No, I got to quantify.
Yes.
I got to answer your questions.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to be caught short, which I love.
I would say number 1 in field goal attempts right now for me, for the Lakers, if I'm designing it, would be Julius Randle. Number 2 would be Kyle Kuzma. Those would be the two guys that...
Two power forwards?
Those would be the guys that shoot the most.
I said that like Big Mama. 2 power forwards?
Yes, Big Mama.
2 power forwards. Not shooting guards, not...
No, but they do, and what's interesting, they score their points in very different ways.
I would say KCP and then Randall. KCP, I would like to see more shots. We agreed on this when it was at 10. I think he's at 12 and a half, 13 shots. He's actually upped his shots per game with the Lakers, which I'm happy about. Brandon Ingram, quickly, what I love about Brandon Ingram, and this is an odd thing to say, I love that he knows when to stop taking three-pointers. If he's 1 for 1, or Julius was 1 for 1 Tuesday night, but Ingram was 2 for 3. There, I should probably get a box score. Brandon Ingram was 2 for 3. And, Brooke Lopez just hung out like a free throw line, as you said. He was never three.
He hung out at the 3-point line. Yeah,
I don't need a 7-footer getting 3 rebounds. Like you're kind of an standing operator procedures to just reach up and take a ball.
Yes, we used to Travis Outlaw, who didn't rebound a whole lot for the Blazers. We used to tell him he was one of the most athletic guys I've ever seen, and 6'9". And I used to Travis 5 rebounds should hit you in the head. You don't even have to jump for 5 rebounds.
He's too busy staring at his own feet, saying, "What happened here?" They were pigeon.
Yeah.
Sweet guy.
Yeah.
So you got Randall and Kuz 1 and 2. I got KCP and Randall. This is great. Lonzo shooting 30% from way downtown, and that we told you was going to go up. It'll be 35 by the end of the month. This is great. This is good stuff. And when the Lakers are playing like this, I wouldn't trade anybody, and I mean that. Now, granted, if you get James Harden.
Well, we're going to find out soon because the trade deadline is February 8th.
How's the trade deadline? Is that doing okay?
It's a kind of a different thing.
What about Dateline? Possibly.
Well, always. On Dateline, always.
Trade deadline, remind the fans.
February 8th moved up this year from, it'll be before the All-Star break this year. So February, so we have about 3 weeks left.
No mid All-Star game trades?
No, like Boogie Cousins last year found out awkwardly in a press conference. He was talking to him, they asked him about it. He was like, what? And a PR guy to come up to him and whisper in his ear, actually you got traded.
Your stuff is already in New Orleans. Why? I mean, just because you're here, At least he didn't have to move, really. He just he just missed his flight over and over and over.
There was some. I don't remember the story exactly, but he had to. There was some awkward flight. I think he actually flew back to Sacramento on the Kings plane, 2 people, and then had to come on a charter. There's some weird story about him flying out from the All-Star game.
Like Cedric the Entertainer from Kings of Comedy. Like when you go to work, you get fired. You could have called me and told me that at home.
Save you the gas.
I got to come all the way into work. Well, I dropped something, so it's an official podcast. Lakers. Your Los Angeles Lakers beat the Sacramento Kings, the oldest and youngest team in the league. Vince Carter.
Yeah, Vince Carter is legitimately my age.
Zach Randolph, Moses. And I thought I saw John the Baptist in there somewhere.
You did. Yeah.
What handles on that cat, man?
Yes.
Woo!
Yes, I would call them holy even.
Holy handles.
Zach Randolph looks like he looks like a giant infant. He has the body of like a 16-month-old.
That's a perfect analysis. And young dudes, I'm very happy with this team, and this is good stuff, my friends. Lakers win, and never forget, Abdel Nabi, we're number 4. Man.
I never will again.
All right, friends, America's Lakers podcast. We'll record again Thursday after the San Antonio Spurs. And I believe my son will be going to that game with me.
Yes.
School night. I don't care because I'm the best dad on earth.
Yes.
And when that little man gets in that building, only one thing happens.
I think I'm going with my brother Michael, and I will introduce you to Ann Mackey to LaMarcus Aldridge on Thursday night.
You know, I love me some.
LA is a good dude.
We love LA. All right, friends. America's Lakers podcast. Corey, no words.
Not really. No.
Corey said her brain hurts.
You guys stumped me at Breakin'.
You didn't see the movie Breakin'? Well, that's for off.
Breakin' 1 and 2, but my favorite was Beach Street.
Nah, no way. No, we're not saying that's not your favorite.
No, I understand.
We're not disagreeing with your actual childhood and memories.
Does Beach Street have a scene outside a bodega with somebody using fishing line that you can clearly see in the movie to make it look like the broom is magical? No.
Join us again. Hope you had fun. We sure did. And we're thrilled to bring you America's Lakers podcast. And we're thrilled the Lakers sanction this as the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers.
I want to get an official stamp. I just want to stamp stuff that says official Los Angeles Lakers.
Come on over here. I'll take care of it for you.
All right. Thanks.
There's the gold standard and the
purple and gold standard.
Let's hit it, friends. Come over here. Let me show you the stamp. Jeff, you got the stamp? No, the other one.
Thanks for listening to America's Lakers podcast with Jay Mohr, exclusively on Podcast One Sportsnet. New episodes every Wednesday on podcastone.com, the Podcast One app, or subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
What makes new Simply Summer's Eve Feminine Wash different? It's simple. Seriously, that's the answer. It's made with simple ingredients. Ingredients that help stop odor and help you maintain a naturally healthy pH, gently and effectively. Here's what Simply Summer's Eve ingredients do not include: harsh chemicals, dyes, alcohol, or parabens. And it comes in light, refreshing scents like mandarin blossom and coconut water. New Simply Summer's Eve Gentle Foaming Wash and Cleansing Cloths. Gentle by nature. Click the tile to learn more.
Help protect what matters with ADT's Safer, Smarter New Year sales event. For a limited time, get an ADT Security Starter Kit, everything you need to get started with ADT Pulse, including a security panel, keypad, a motion sensor, and 2 entry sensors. Plus, there's an indoor camera and key fob, all professionally installed for only $49. It's a $599 savings that comes with the warm, confident feeling of safety at home. Requires 36-month monitoring contract, QSP, and Easy Pay. Activation and early termination fees may apply. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com, Florida EF 0001121, Louisiana F1639. Visit ADT.com/podcast. But hurry, this special offer now ends January 21st.